Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Akron's hottest and fastest growing show, Three Throw to Go. I'm your host, Hank Forrester, coming to you live from the Fox's Den Childcare facility in Wadsworth, Ohio. Today, we're going to dive into the story behind this place, but before we do that, we're once again joined by the dulcet tones of... Oh, that's not Danny. Hi, Kate.
Wow. Wow, you sound really depressed and upset about that.
Great start, right? Great start. I love you, honey.
Fabulous. How are you doing, honey?
I'm living the dream.
Just living the dream.
So today's episode is brought to us by Acme Fresh Markets. We are proud to be partnering with Acme throughout the upcoming season. Just a reminder to use our promotional code when shopping online for Acme groceries. Enter 330 to go as a promo code at orderacme.com and you will get $3.30 off any order greater than $50. Groceries at the tip of your fingers.
So how did orderacme.com go as the snowstorms were approaching? How was that? What was that like? Why don't you tell us some firsthand information from Kate? Kate, in case you didn't know, our Kate and our daughter both work at Acme. As Harper was blowing into town, so they got to prepare. How'd that go?
It was a little busy.
Did people take advantage of that?
Yes, they did.
Did they get all that milk and bread?
Yes, and then some.
All right, folks. Folks, today's episode is also brought to us by Sheena's Platinum Movements. Okay, we're going to be highlighting her later on in the year. But Sheena's Platinum Movements is a non-competitive and affordable dance studio. They're located right around the corner from Acme Number 1 in West Akron. Right now, they're taking on new enrollees, and what's nice is they're starting to get noticed. So it is helping with the partnership between Sheena's and our show. So please make sure you check them out if you're looking for an opportunity to find a dance studio in the local West Akron area. Make sure you check out Sheena's Platinum Movements. Also, we've got a show onboarding in March. I know you guys have seen it, seen the announcements on that. Danny's going to be the host of that. I will not say a word on that show ever, but I will be behind the camera for that one permanently. It used to be called A View from the Peak. There were some name issues or whatever, so we've changed the name of that show to A Sip of Solidarity. A Sip of Solidarity. So make sure you go like that. It's going to be a woman's show where women are talking about issues. It's kind of like the View, our version of the View for the local Akron and Northeast Ohio community. Okay?
Wait. Are we taking bets as to the fact that you're going to keep your mouth shut during this show if you're behind the camera?
I am not.
I seriously think we need to lay down some bets.
I am not going to say a word.
Bazinga.
I'm not going to say a word. This is my domain. They can have their own, okay? Also, next week, Super Bowl at Dante's Game Day Grill. We're going to be live at 4 o'clock. Jeremy in Akron, who's celebrity famous, as big as Ohio in the Browns coverage. He's part of the Orange is Oranger podcast with Chase Smith. Jeremy's going to be on the panel with us, along with a couple other Browns fans that helped us out earlier this year. So we're going to be going live at 4 o'clock. Next week at Dante's Game Day Bar and Grill. So make sure you come check that out, and we'd be happy to talk football with you folks. And then they're going to have specials for the Super Bowl if you choose to stay. Okay? So here we are, true story. Kate over there was an assistant director at Childcare for many years, and she had followed in the footsteps of two of her friends, which are probably going to tune in today because this is about childcare. And that's Liz McDonald and Kristen Gambasini. And Kristen Gambasini, if we highlighted her earlier this year on the show, she's the owner and operator of Perfectly Distressed. She's a mom blogger, mother of 8. So I'm sure they'll be tuning in. She also does the segments with live on Lakeside on WKYC and does household tips now as well and cooking tips. So Kristen's like literally doing mom stuff and helping and sharing and making it public. But Kristen and Liz were both assistant directors at Childcare in Embassy Parkway, Montrose area before my wife, Kate. And then Kate was an assistant director for many years as well. So we've got a lot of friends and colleagues that are in the daycare world, okay? So all this to say that I'm surrounded by a lot of women in my life who've been intricately involved in this industry, okay? But today we're going to focus on a private facility which I'm kind of ignorant about in regards to the rules, the policies, the procedures. So this should be a very interesting conversation. And for those of you that do live in the Wadsworth area, if you are looking for a childcare facility, once we give the tour of this place, you may want to consider this as an option. Okay? So all that and she said,
2 thumbs up.
All that to introduce our host and our guest today. Folks, let's have a nice round of applause for Naomi Fox. All right. So hi, Naomi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing us to be here, and we appreciate the invite, and hopefully that this helps with you, gets you some business, and also shed some light as far as the differences in daycare facilities. Okay. Mm-hmm. So question number 1, right out of the gate. How did this happen? Where did this whole thing start?
The Fox's Den started January of 2017 in my home. My previous job, I was interviewing a potential employee, and she told me she used to have an in-home daycare, and I thought, why didn't I ever think of that? I was a foster parent for 8 years, and I've always just loved taking care of children. And that was October of 16, and then I just decided to take the jump and start an in-home daycare in January of 17. That led to, it went great. All my families have stayed with me. They're still with me. And I knew of a location where I could grow, and that's where we are now. So I don't know what I'm not sharing.
What was the initial thought where you were like, when did you know that you felt like you need to do this? Or where was hey, let's do this? Was there a moment? Do you remember having a conversation with like your husband or somebody? Like what happened? What was that moment?
After interviewing that employee, the idea popped into my head. And from there, the name, obviously my name is Naomi Fox, so I'm using my name, and the name of the Fox's Den came into my head. And I did the math, and I realized I could quit the job I had and still be totally fine with just a couple kids in my home. And it just it happened quickly. I met with a friend that helped me really organize a business plan and how to get a good website going. And then it just happened. Like within a couple months, I advertised and launched and had families and filled up. And
so when you go to get started, what's the first thing that you have to do? Do you like incorporate first, or what's the steps? Talk us through the steps.
To have an in-home daycare in Ohio, you don't have to do anything but advertise, and the only rule, if you're not going to be licensed, is you can't care for more than 6 children in your home, including your own. So other than that, you don't have to do anything. I knew from the beginning I wanted to run it like a business. I know a lot of in-homes can be pretty casual. So I got an LLC. I made my name, registered it with the state, opened a business account, created a logo. I did all of that, made a website. But you don't have to do that to have an in-home daycare. But I knew that I had a growth plan, so I wanted to start out from the very beginning like that.
Okay, so the initial rule is, you said 6.
6.
So you're allowed to have 6, okay?
If you are not licensed.
All right, so then what's the process then of getting licensed? How does that work?
I don't know for in-home, but I know that once I moved and wanted to have a center here, I know that process. Because you can be a licensed in-home and you can care for 12 kids.
Oh, really? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Or you can have a center if you're going to have more than 12 kids.
And you just skip that part because you knew you wanted a center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there are...
So tell us through that, talk us through that early process, you know, some of the decisions you had to make, some of the pitfalls, some of the successes. You know, tell us that. What was that journey like? Tell us about that.
It's a blur.
So hold on here. I'll do this one. There. All right, there we go. All right. Mass chaos.
Right.
All right.
Kind of was. No, I think the very first thing you need to do is you need to have a location, and you need to make sure that location complies with local authorities. Like the building inspector had to come and approve this for up to code for childcare. And then we had to have the health department approve us serving snacks to children. You have to have all of these approvals, a floor plan. All of this stuff needs to be lined up before you can even submit an application to the state of Ohio for them to license you.
Okay.
So that took about 3 to 6 months, depending on where the starting point was. If we start from when we started painting the inside of this building, I'd say 6 months.
Okay.
To get all of those approvals and ducks in a row.
What was that day where you first filed for it or something?
I sent the application with all of my local approvals in May.
In this May of this year? Or 2018? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they want $500 too. So you got to send them that with your application.
Okay.
And then you wait for them to come to look over everything. They'll ask you questions, the state of Ohio, and then they'll schedule a walkthrough.
Okay.
So that took another month.
That's before you're even allowed to do anything, right?
Right.
And then once, it's almost like taking possession of the building kind of deal, right?
Yes. So, but I was able to watch my kids from my in-home came here with me.
Okay.
And while I was doing all these approvals and getting the layout, everything in order here, I was watching them here in this location.
Okay.
Until we were able to open to the public.
Okay. What's your mission? Like, if you want to set aside how you guys care for children, how would you describe that?
I think what sets us apart and would align with my mission is wanting to have quality childcare that's also affordable. I know that childcare is a huge expense, so I would like to say we're a little more affordable than the other options in the area. But I also don't want that to mean like this is some subpar place because it's cheaper. I want the quality level to be just as good as it can be as well.
Okay. Now, before doing all this, did you have any experience working in any kind of corporate childcare?
No, I was a financial advisor.
Okay.
Then I hated it. So,
so you're just like, hey, you started small. You had 6 kids. Well, how many kids do you have for yourself? And I know that you were okay. So the history here with us is you were on our show before for the adoption and fostering show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not like taking care of kids is something new to you.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're just kind of rolling over your own home thought process into a larger facility.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kate, what's your take on regards to some of the differences already that you've heard in terms of from a corporate standpoint, where it's a Childcare or something like that? And again, folks, the opinions of this show are strictly opinions, and they're not meant to cause a ruckus. But at the same time, we're going to share them, right? So, give us your experience from working at Childcare.
And the corporate side
Just
of
the
it,
whole
or?
side of it in regards to, what was it like taking care of that many kids in that kind of a facility, and how is it structured and all that? So give us some insight to that in terms of the difference.
I'm so glad you put me on the spot. You know how I love this.
Well, I love you.
I'm not really sure where to begin. I mean, Childcare, I would think anything, Childcare, child time, anything like that. It has a certain corporate structure that's set up to fit the required needs for them to maintain accreditation. When I first started at Childcare, we did not have our NACI accreditation. So it was something that we built our way up to through different on-site visits and curriculum standards that we had to uphold. So as far as having a private daycare, I've never worked in a private. I've only worked in the corporate facility. So I'm not exactly sure all the actual differences because I haven't run a private one either. I haven't done anything out of my home. Taking care of my kids in my home is quite enough anymore. So, nice. So I think, I would think, and I could be wrong, but I would think with private, you have a little bit more leniency in what direction you want to go with in regards to the kinds of curriculum you want to offer, the education levels, the requirements of your staffing, things like that. So, but I think in general, most daycare facilities run at a required state minimum of teacher to child ratio. So that's pretty much, I think, really the only similarity. Other than that, I think in private, you can kind of just decide however you want to handle it.
I do what I want.
Exactly. You don't have a lot of that in corporate. You kind of get told it's either this or don't let the door hit you. So
she's like,
just do it.
Okay, got it. All right. So so from a legal standpoint, and you said there's like certifications you have to get, or how when you go to do open the facility, what are the like she's talking about? Was it you said NACI accreditation?
There's NACI, there's NAC. Having been out of the field for a good 10 years now, I'm not exactly sure what all the different levels are now or if they've changed. But I know when I was there was NACI accreditation, there was NAC, then there's Step Up to Quality, and
those are all things that I could choose to do if I want to.
Okay.
Just I think, and I may in the future if I feel that gives our facility a level of accreditation or standards that maybe people would recognize.
Okay.
But yeah, those are optional for any facility if they want to do that.
Well, okay. So where are you at right now as far as kid count, and then where do you want to be, or where could you be? What's the?
Well, this is our very first week in this room right
Hold
here.
on. That's a yay. So we're literally here. Wow, that's really cool. That is.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Up top. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, up top. All right. So here we are, week 1. All right.
Yes.
So where are you right now as far as enrollment?
So when we first opened, we leased the downstairs of this building, and we were licensed to take care of 32 children. And as of this week, we are now licensed to care for 80 children, and that's using this new upstairs space. We have about 56 enrolled right now. They're not all here every day, so if you come in on a given day, there may be 30 to 40. So we have a lot of open space now that we are eager to fill up with some more awesome, cute little kids.
Okay. And so how do you go about staffing then? You guys were talking ratios. I mean, you go ahead and talk us through that process as far as your staff and where you're at now.
Yeah, you have to be, there's rules and there's laws in place through the state of Ohio that you can have so many staff per children watching the children. So for example, the rule in the state of Ohio for infants is 1 teacher to 5 infants or 2 teachers to 6. Personally, I don't know how that's even possible to keep 6 infants happy as one person. So here at the Fox's Den, we do 1 to 3. And that's like a strict standard. And even at 1 to 3, I myself as the owner and director, I'm usually walking around with a baby because number 1, they're cute. And number 2, it helps relieve the stress from my staff.
Seemed appropriate. All right.
But yeah, depending on the ages of the children, there's a rule about how many teachers need to be in that room monitoring them and caring for them.
Okay.
Well, the different accreditations also affect that. So if you're running, I know that numbers when I originally started, their numbers were different for ratios versus when we were NACI. They're lower.
Okay.
The number of kids to the teachers is lower with the accreditations.
Okay. All right. So, I had that question. All right. So let's talk the location. Like, so you guys, I'm assuming you live in Wadsworth. You live nearby.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
5 minutes from here.
So you're 5 minutes from here. So that obviously was part of it. What were like when you thought facility? What did you envision initially, and then versus where you ended up?
Well, this is kind of how it played out. I was in my home and I thought, 3 to 5 years from now, maybe I'll open a facility. That'd be really cool. And the summer of 17, I just kept getting phone calls of people needing childcare, and I was maxed out at my 6 kids, and I just kept having to say no. So I knew there was a need for some more childcare options in the area. And I knew of this particular building was not being used by Mosaic Church any longer as they outgrew it. So I thought, I knew that the downstairs was set up really nice for childcare, and I just reached out to them and asked them if we could possibly talk about leasing the space, given that the space could be approved by the building department and the health department and all of that.
So they had already had their church childcare area set up? Is that what it was? Oh, well, that's a score.
Yeah, we painted, we did a few things in the basement, but we didn't have to like remodel or any of that. It just was like perfect.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a
Bazinga.
All right. You have a, game over. All right. So, so what about, okay, so let's talk pricing now, because people are, you said the word affordable. One of the reasons that Kate got out of childcare was because we hit, there's a sweet spot. Melanie Timko, thanks for tuning in, Melanie. She says, we're so thankful for Fox's Den. Our son is so happy there. And Eusebio Rodriguez said 100 high fives. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, you reach a tipping point, and most of the people that are watching this right now and that'll watch this in the future know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a dollar amount where it no longer justifies having kids in childcare because you have to work so hard. So in other words, if you got two parents that are working outside the home, and that we hit that point once it was kid number 3, right?
Yeah, it's usually number 3 that I've noticed.
So we had kid 3,
Unless they're spread
and
out a lot.
it was like she's working all these hours and dealing with all of the corporate America version of childcare, and then at the same time, she's coming home and like you mentioned, Kate, you're not focusing on your own children, you're focusing on everyone else's, and then you come home and you get your paycheck and it's like $50 after having worked for 2 weeks because you've got 3 kids at the facility, and they give you a discount. So they give you a little discount for kid 2 and a little discount for kid 3. But if it's an infant, you and I both know that infants cost anywhere between $300 to $500 a week, depending on where you go, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was when we were there. That was in 2000.
It's like, no, not here.
Well, in 2010, right? Was that with Wyatt? Right.
Wyatt was 2008, and it was over $200 a week.
Yeah, it was like two,
and you don't get
245, 250.
You don't get a break on the other.
It's like
unless you're a director. Although that could have changed, so I'm not trying to scorn Childcare.
The opinions of the Three Throated Ghost show are just that, they're opinions. So
that at that point in time was a fact, but it's not. I don't know what their policies are now. I don't know what their pricing level is now, because I've been gone for 8 to 10 years. So, but when I was there, when I first started, Jillian was in the infant room and there was no break. I didn't get a break until she was 2, until she was a toddler, and then I may have caught a break with Sierra, but there was never really a huge discount on the infant room because the infant room is where the money is.
Sure.
Your pricing for your infants is more than your pricing for your toddlers, which is more than your pricing for your preschool, so that they can give the cuts later on. ADs and directors got a bigger discount than staff, but it was never free. And it, no disrespect, Childcare, but the money wasn't great. So the money I was making versus the money I was putting back in just didn't balance out. I loved the job. I loved my building. I loved my staff, and I absolutely adored all the kids that were there. But it was just breaking me. The not having the money and not having time with my own kids was breaking me. So I had to.
So, real quick side note. We're sitting by the front entrance here. The sun's starting to come in. It's going to be hitting me. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. But we just saw a plow go by. So we saw a plow go by. So just so you know, we're in Wadsworth. We saw a plow go by, okay? Laying salt down, okay? So you see I'm wearing my shirt. I'm wearing Akron versus everyone right now for Snow-A-Cane Harper that just happened. So when we see a plow right now, we all kind of get just a little jumpy, okay? So sorry about that. But all right, so let's talk pricing then. Why don't you go ahead? Folks, just so you know, we're going to do a tour of the facility here. We're going to unhook a couple little lines and do a walkthrough, and then we'll come back and we'll end up here. But before we do that, why don't you give your commercial as far as like, what's your pricing? How's the pricing structure work?
So our pricing is, I'm pretty sure, less expensive than any other center in the area. One way we do keep the price down is we do not accept state funded childcare, so I think that's called Title 20. That keeps our administrative costs down as well. So we're able to offer our private pay families a lower rate. We also don't provide meals, so I think kids eat better anyway when they've got their cute little lunchbox from home, and it saves money. We don't have to have a commercial kitchen. We don't have to have a cook, and most parents are happy to pack a lunch for their kids. So we charge for our infant room, which has a 1-to-3 ratio, $215 a week for full-time, and $150 a week for 3 days or less. And then from there, we charge $37 a day. Once they're walking pretty steadily, they move out of the infant room, and they're $37 a day. And once they're potty trained, they're $35 a day. So it's pretty straightforward.
Very cool. It looks like we've got a bunch of folks from Wadsworth starting to tune in. Look, Brian Hall just signed on. The reason I noticed is because his little insignia logo for his profile is the Alabama Crimson Tide symbol, and I cringed at that too. I'm like, what is that doing on my feed right now? But no, folks. Again, we're located in Wadsworth. We're even from West Akron. It only took us 22 minutes to get here. Yeah. So it's not like this only services the Wadsworth area.
Oh, no.
They're located. To give you an example, so you get off at 57, you come down 57 and loop around onto Greenwich, right?
Yep.
And you come up and take that turn at that, that weird angled hill flashing red light in Wadsworth. It's right there.
Yeah.
So you go to that little light area and you turn left. So that gives you an idea where they're located. So they're pretty close to Route 57.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My point is, you can service Medina, you can service West Akron, you can service, all those places, right?
Even Rittman, there are no child care centers in Rittman, so we have a lot of Rittman families. But we have parents everywhere. It depends on where you work and where you live and if it's on the way.
Oh, Brian just said roll tide. Get that off of my, what? All right. So, but all right, so we're going to take a walk around now. And again, if you want to get that information, I'm sure you have a website, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and tell that.
The foxesdenchildcare.com.
Make sure you put the childcare in there.
Yes.
Okay. The foxesdenchildcare.com. Okay.
And
What?
Facebook is very active as well.
Bazinga!
Facebook's very active as well. So the point is, if you just reach out through either one of those, I'm sure that you can find information and get more information on the facility.
Right away.
All right, Kate. So,
well, you didn't ask her age ranges.
Go over.
Who she services.
I didn't even see. I didn't even have that as a question because I don't know that sort of thing, right? Because I'm not dating. That's why, Kate. That is why you're here. Hold on. Let's.
We don't need a button.
Kate, that is why you're here. You are the counterbalance to my ignorance.
Ooh, that's a heavy counterweight for me to carry.
Wow. Okay. Well, fair enough.
Cool story, bro.
All right. So, go ahead and go over ages.
We watch children from age 6 weeks all the way up until school age. We have kids that get on the bus here. It takes them to their local Wadsworth school in the morning, drops them off in the afternoon. And in the summer, we have summer camp for our older school age kids, and they'll come on snow days as well. And so basically until you think your kid is able to stay home by themselves, we can watch them here.
Oh, okay. I've been missing some comments, folks. Sorry here. Let me go back and review these real quick. Because I have two screens open and I'm trying something new today. All right. So comment one was, wait. Wow. We've been missing a bunch of stuff. Wow. Look at all these people that are watching too. All right. So, Eric Elsis, said hello. He's here in the Wadsworth area. Brooke, thanks for clarifying that. I don't know what that was all about. Are they accepting the respite voucher from Summit County Children's Services?
We are not currently aligned with Summit County Children's Services. It's something where you have to sign up with them. We're so new, we haven't done that. But I would like to share along those lines. I have a serious heart for foster care, and we are soon this year going to be offering one free date night per quarter for foster parents. Just as a way to give back and show foster parents how much we appreciate them. Okay.
Linda said, go dogs. She's talking Georgia. All right. So we got a comment. Danny says, Naomi's amazing. I know her personally, and I trust her with my babies. Her heart is amazing. All right. So see, I'd be scared to death to hold a 6-week-old kid that wasn't mine, though. I'll be honest with you.
They just fit right there.
They're like a football, but they're breakable. You know what I mean?
Just don't drop them.
Yeah, just don't drop them. Jennifer says she pays $646 a week for 3 kids at daycare, 1 infant, 1 toddler, and 1 preschooler. So it sounds like our numbers were pretty accurate. Whoo!
That's not what it would cost.
$646.
Well, that she probably gets a discount.
$646 a week.
Yeah, when you have multiple children, you usually get a sibling discount. So that's probably even with a sibling discount.
Brandy Hoffman's checking in. She says she knows Naomi, amazing woman. So, all right. So here's what I don't know if I'm doing this right because I clicked a different box this time. But
are you messing it all up?
Yeah, I probably am. But all right, here's what we're going to do, folks. Oh, look, this is a whole different thing. So the watch party function is I'm all excited. Here. Squirrel. All right. The watch party function is newer within the last few months, and it's since we came back from our break as far as 3:30 to go. So I'm using it now for the first time, and I can see the people down here along the bottom, but the comments go like real fast. It says who's joining in and all this stuff. So hello to everyone who's tuning in now, but we're going to try something a little different now. Where you weren't there for this, Kate, but we're going to go into Hudson Haunted House mode, okay? So you're going to go on over there, and I'll give you the instructions. Let me turn that microphone off. Okay, go ahead. All right, we're going to flip this. And what's up?
I'm going.
All right, I'm going to turn this other mic set off. And this one on. Check. Okay, so
disconnecting?
what's up?
What am I unplugging?
You're going to unplug the green cord right there. Unplug the power cord. And then unscrew the thing. All right.
I'm trying to make sure I still have sound, so take this one out.
Yep, do that. Okay. Pull that out. Then unhook the phone. Folks, we're going to take you for a walking tour now.
We're keeping this one plugged in, right?
Yeah, that's the cord that has to stay plugged in. Okay, I can hear you right now. I can hear me. By the way, anytime you wiggle and jiggle, it's going to...
Oh, well, that's too bad because I wiggle and jiggle a lot.
Well, there might be... That's not funny, honey. I love you. All right, I'm going to unplug here. This has got to be comical to watch.
Yeah, we're going without the...
Hold on. Folks, I'm going to turn the sound off for 1 second. Okay, turn the sound back on. There we go. We are now remote. I'm going to walk around here. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, I can. All right, honey, go ahead and take that completely off the... Here. Just take it right out. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Go. You got it? Okay. All right, we are mobile. All right, so, hi.
Hi.
All right. So, we're right by the main entrance right now.
No, we're not.
No, we're not by the main entrance.
We don't use that entrance.
You're not going to use that entrance.
No.
I saw you had a chain up across it.
Yes.
Okay, why not? I mean,
Well, because
from a
there's
security
a lot of stairs and
all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you got the one entrance on the side and the other entrance on the side with ramps.
downstairs.
Okay. So,
This upstairs, this whole room is our ages under 3. So our infants are up front where the cribs are. Our walking to age 2 is over here, and our 2s to 3s are over here. And we set it up this way instead of individual classrooms so that instead of having 1 or 2 eyes on your kids, even though we're all in the same room, you could have 6 to 8 eyes on your kids because you've got plenty of adults in this large space. And we're able to hold a baby that's crying or help out and step in. All the teachers work together.
now this, I'm assuming, was the church part up
Yeah,
top.
this was the
which is
sanctuary.
so cool because if you look, can you see the infant cribs over there?
On the stage.
They're on the stage where the sermon used to take place, I'm assuming. Okay, but that's really neat because they're elevated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that
out
was
of the way.
Well, no, it was pretty smart because you could see them from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
which way you want to go? You're up.
Then we're just going to go downstairs. This is pretty straightforward. Downstairs is the preschool zone, and we've got some cool stuff down there.
Well, what was that one room around there? Do you want to show that or no?
Not really. It's
Not
just
really.
a cubby room where
Okay.
kids put their stuff, and we change diapers.
Okay.
Nothing exciting in there.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Heading on down. Kate, now I love you, okay? But make sure you watch where you're walking. You want me to hold the cord? Okay. I just don't want you to... Just don't fall on me, honey, okay? No, I didn't mean on me. I meant don't fall... Edit that one from the record. You know what I meant. I'm sure there's comments rolling in on that one. All right, so here we go. Oh, sweet.
Okay.
You want to just go by room or?
Yeah, well, we have our main preschool room because we just moved upstairs and we just expanded. We emptied out the downstairs and left one preschool room. And then by the end of this month, I'm sure we'll have another preschool room filled up.
Okay.
But I will show you one of my favorite features.
Okay.
Is our indoor jungle gym. Can you see that? Or do you need to go in? Okay, let's do this. Ta-da!
Nice.
So I have 3 boys myself, and girls are active too, but I knew that this would be crucial to times when we can't go outside and just basically all day. My 3-year-old perches right here like a monkey, and this is just where he lives.
Yeah, and you got everything padded, so... We've
got mats down. It's safety approved.
And then this is more of an instructional area up here?
This is where they learn, where they eat lunch. This is their little reading nook with their pillows. This is a sensory table. Right now we've got water beads in here, which I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're really cool.
I have. They're gross. I hate them.
Orbeez.
They love them. They make me feel weird and icky. Yeah, it's so, to me, it's all icky.
But we swap this out. Sometimes it's rice with little animals. Sometimes it's water beads.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so they've got a party box in every room.
Yes.
So... Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was one behind her in the original shot, which you'll see in a little bit when we get back upstairs.
Yeah, one of our core values is dance parties. Literally every single day, there's at least one in every class. Down here is awesome because there's no windows. So when we turn off the light, like this is like a toddler disco. It's super fun. And all of our teachers are instructed that they must participate. They must dance with the children and have fun.
That's pretty cool.
So that's our disco ball.
That's cool. All right. I'll follow you wherever you want to go. And you wear your nice slipper shoes there.
Yeah. The teachers take their shoes off and put on slipper shoes. That way it keeps things cleaner.
Yeah.
So in our classrooms we wear slippers.
Of course.
This room right now will eventually be a preschool class, but now we are loving being able to use our rock wall. We used to have 1-year-olds in here, so we had to close the rock wall. This week, the kids have been so pumped to be able to come in here and climb and jump and act crazy, especially since it's been so cold. They haven't been able to go outside.
Okay, very nice.
So that's that. This is going to be preschool 2.0. Hopefully by the end of February, this will be our second preschool classroom. So... it's pretty straightforward. We have our disco ball in here as well. Our TVs we use for instructional purposes. Maybe once a month we'll have a movie night, a movie day, pajama day.
Are they all tied together? So
no, they're all on separate.
They're all separate?
Separate Rokus.
Okay.
Yeah, just internet stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what we use them for. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
But yes.
Cool. And then is there something further over there?
This used to be an infant room over here. It's empty now. We're going to save it in case we need to add 3 more infants.
Okay.
We can have 3 in there. For now, it's just empty. And then we have bathrooms, and I will show you one more fun thing. I don't know if it's fun. It's necessary, I think. All of our classrooms are under video surveillance. They're being recorded to a hard drive. I just like having that extra layer of security. That was kind of like a bottom line thing I had to have when we opened. Not required, but it's something that's important to me. So we have our video cameras in every room.
Okay.
Same upstairs.
Let's take a look. Is that an exit right there?
This is an exit to outside.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask that. Yeah, okay, so you got an emergency exit then. So
we have an emergency exit, and also it's all of our exits stay locked during the day.
Okay.
You can only get in with a code.
Okay.
So nobody can just walk in on us.
Okay.
That's important to me as well for safety.
Okay.
But,
well, cool. So, when is this the check-in area right here?
It is.
Okay.
Downstairs. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was my office. Now I have a real office.
So. Okay. Nice.
And my sign. I love it.
There's the sign. Cool. Very nice. And so this part, the bottom area has been open for how long?
Officially since July of 18.
Okay.
So not too long, but
yeah, but so
we filled it up really fast.
And then the other room just for a week now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And upstairs a week.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's head on back up and get hooked back in, and we can finish on up there. Very cool. I mean,
One thing that I did when I did the designing of our spaces, a lot of daycares you'll walk in and it, to me, feels very spastic. Primary colors, walls are over decorated, and I think it just adds to the chaos of children. They need a calm, relaxing space as much as possible. They bring the crazy. We don't want to add to it. So like we have light colors in our classrooms, minimal artwork. We'll put their art up in the windows and things like that, but we don't want like some crazy bright room.
Okay.
Our hallways are orange though, because boxes
Well,
are orange.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's funny. I've been seeing more of them lately.
Yeah.
Like around.
It's weird.
We live over in West Akron. I mentioned earlier, and for all you Akronites tuning in, once again, good job surviving Harper. There's an area like by White Pond and Mole in that area where there's still some woods that are surrounded a corporate area, and you could tell the areas are getting smaller and smaller where the animals have to run. Yeah. So all of a sudden, I've been seeing foxes.
That's cool.
Like every once in a while, you'll just see it by the side of the road, and you're like, and you're looking at it because you don't see them that often. I'm like, that's a fox.
That's awesome.
So all right, let's get plugged back in here. Kate, just go ahead and reverse the procedure, but you do not have to plug in the power cord at this point. All right, folks, bear with us. We're going to shift back in and get situated here. Let's go. Take that down there. And take this one. Take this cord here. And just pop that in. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Live television. Love it. And there's that. Now I can turn these back up. Test check. There we go. We're back at it. And take this down. Okay. Well, thanks for that. That was really cool. It's nice. It's nice being a part of something that you start and then seeing it happen. Mm-hmm. It's exciting. It's warm, fuzzy feeling, and especially with like when we do a wedding, when we DJ. We become a part of that family for the day. I mean, that's the kind of, our whole platform is his and hers. So we become a part of their bridal party and a part of their family. Okay, you kind of do the same thing when you're providing childcare because, I mean, they are trusting you with their most prized possession, right? Yep. So. We commend you for what you're doing, and we think it's great. And, what else is there to say besides good job, congratulations, and now you've got to do it, right? Yeah. Now you've made the plan, and now you got to take care of a bunch of little kids.
Yeah, and obviously I can't do that alone. And I just have to say I've been so blessed by the staff that we have here. Many of them I've known since they were 12 years old, 14 years old, and now they're adults. And then the ones I haven't known, they've come highly recommended from people I do know, and they're awesome. And I think a daycare, honestly, is only as good as the people that are working there and caring for the staff, no matter what it looks like on the outside or the inside or what programs you have. The bottom line is those staff members that are actually caring for your kids.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to close down here. Why don't you go ahead and give us what's your final thoughts to share with?
What? Obviously, I think that we have something special and unique here. And like I said, our staff is truly caring and amazing. And I would love the opportunity to care for more children as we now have the space. And I would love to give anyone a personal tour as well if you just reach out.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, once again, thank you so much for allowing us to be here.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yes, it has been fun, especially getting to know the story behind the den. And folks, once again, as I mentioned, next week we're going to be live at Dante's Game Day Grill for our local Super Bowl pregame coverage. So if you're in the Akron area and you're looking for something to do, come hang out and just talk football with a bunch of other Browns fans. I guess Steelers fans are welcome, but they won't. It will be generally frowned upon. I'll say it that way. But folks, until then, I don't know where I'm going, but there ain't no sense in being late. Everybody, say goodnight, Shirley.
Good night, Shirley.
This podcast is a copyright of Moon Garden Media Limited.
Oh, just a lot of peanut butter.